So let's sit here and take a look at our map, shall we? So if you recall, this is where we started on the first episode. This is where the first boss was. We already took care of that. Quite disappointing, I might add. The first boss. We took care of it right on the first day, I believe. And then we just evolved and developed. So this is the island where we spawned. It has a black forest up north. It had some copper ores as well. And on the Black Forest, you also can get some tin around the water side. So we actually went around the coast and gathered some tin as well. So this is all depleted out of resources almost. You can get some fine woods and some core woods, but that's all. Right on the east side, sorry, there's the Black Forest again and some meadows. Meadows areas are really chill areas usually. I think there's gonna be some those areas with a little higher foes as well later down the line. That's what I suspect. Because and I'll tell you in a second why I have that theory. Guys, there's a lot to cover here. To be honest, there's a lot to cover in just one stream, but we'll get to it bit by bit. So, moving on. This is gonna be really fun. Let me tell you a story of how me and Storm actually went here and then explored the rest. So me and Storm were looking for tin horse, right? So we went around and looked for rivers, lakes, all that kind of good stuff. We found a good kind of deal of tin horse, some good copper ores as well. We depleted all of them, but as long as we kept moving south, we started noticing. Do you see this white area right here? The enemies were kept getting stronger and grew in number. So we were quite faced up with a challenge of surviving right away just by walking towards where we were. But once we reached around this area, there was a troll, which was the first troll kill we got. I was hitting the troll with the arrows. The troll did came with no trunk. That was the first troll, and I think it came just with his bare hands striking us. Storm kited him around with his shield and his axe. You know, we were on this hill, and he was just climbing up the hill and then going up down the hill so that the troll couldn't catch him, because the trolls are quite dumb and quite slow, if I might add. So he outmaneuvered the troll with such a finesse. Let me tell you, it looked like a fucking ballerina. Troll, the storm kites were on point there. And whilst Storm was kiting the troll, I was with my bow, just raining down on him fire arrows. He went down so easily, guys. Oh, god damn. We killed him in a second. It was really quickly. It was in a second, but like 30 seconds at max. And that was our first troll kill right there. And then we decided, well, if there's gonna be more trolls, we need to head back because we might not be so fortunate. So we headed through west. We found some Miatas as well, and then we headed towards our chateau. Once we got to our chateau, we decided, well, we need to check where the second boss is. We need to find, because we already had this little mark right here. Look where it was, guys. The Elder. All the way down here, down south, there's the Elder. And we were quite phased. We were like, whoa, how the fuck are we gonna get there? We grabbed the raft just to test it out. So we grabbed a small raft and we came all the way. We passed this beacon for all the soys. So once again, I'll translate this. Thanks for you guys, and I think you'll quite learn something. I hope, or at least I hope so. So for all means beacon, and this beacon is just a name, beacon of soys. And this beacon is like a mark of where we passed, and we thought, okay, we're getting a little bit too far ahead with our raft. We need to because we took a long while just to get here, and we were like phased because, oh my god, we had to navigate all through that. So we got here, we checked out a dungeon, I believe. Yeah, right down here. We checked out the dungeon, we got some cores because we needed to do a portal once we got to the Elder so that we could head back to our home and go to the portal near the boss as regularly as possible. So yeah, we actually went. The first dungeon was quite smooth. Storm died, but it was off of a mistake from both of us. But how do I say it? But without that, yeah, it was smooth. That was the only thing that actually bothered us. It was our own mistake. So we were on this tight corridor. All dungeons are very tight in terms of space, and they can have skeletons or ghosts, as I have seen. And the ghosts are the real threat. And there was a ghost right around the corner, and we did a double check. We weren't expecting. And behind the ghost, there was also a skeleton with a bow. So yeah, we got screwed there, but that was a mistake from us, and then we took care of it. It was quite smooth. I finished them off, and I waited for Storm, and that actually wasn't the only time that happened. I actually died once in a dungeon as well. I wanna say around here. Oh no, it was around here. Yeah, it was really close by, around here, and then Storm came by. Yeah, or was it the other way? Yeah, I think it was the other way. No, no, no. Yeah, yeah. My bad, guys. No, it was the other way. So actually, Storm died on this dungeon, and he just walked through. Yeah, and then I waited for him, and then actually down here, it was me who got killed, and I got killed because we were faced by a skeleton of 2 stars. And the Storm had his shield. I didn't have a shield. I tried to go to the back of the skeleton, but he turned around. He stopped. Oh God! Why is it being so hard to speak today? Maybe I need to drink some water. Let me just, because I haven't drank any water yet, so that might be the case. Okay. Sorry. Jesus. Ah, that feels a little bit better, but still, I am quite a little bit tired because I've been playing a lot, and I've been actually doing a lot of stuff with the stream. As you can see, there's right now a pop-up just appeared on the screen, and that's something that I've also been working on. It took me quite a while, but moving on. So I was actually killed by that skeleton because he stopped attacking Storm, and he focused on me instead for some reason, and that actually the mechanic of who the enemy focuses on is quite tricky. You don't quite get how to control that. So after that dungeon, we headed back to Chateau. Our Chateau of Steel has been our refuge and our safe haven. We were attacked quite a few times. We always stood fairly comfortable. It never was at a risk of losing our chateau. Actually, it stood quite well. But we actually started looking for another place, and we didn't find a good spot. Beacon was actually a contender, but it was just too small. So yeah, we decided to just leave a marker so we could build the beacon later. The marker is still there, but there's no construction yet. We may actually build this beacon today. And I didn't think about that. That might actually be what we do today. Yeah. Okay, so after we headed back to our chateau and dealt with some attacks, we built our own. What's it called? Let me just check here. What's the name of the ship? Our own carve, yeah. And with our own carve, things got a little bit smoother on the map side. We headed to the beacon in just a couple of minutes, like I think 2 minutes, and we passed through the beacon, which was much faster than with the raft. and it's much more maneuverable as well. So we headed south. We found this little riverway, so we used the riverway, always trying to avoid the open ocean. After that, we found this little coast here. It's all black forest, and we spotted a dungeon on our way. And then we found out that it wasn't on this island, so it was on another continent altogether. So we went through right the middle of the ocean, not being able to see the other side. And as soon as we get to the other side, we spot this area because we were heading this side right here. And in this area, there's a swamp. And swamps look scary as fuck. We never explored the swamp yet. Swamps look kind of dangerous. We need to be very, very careful. So we decided, hey, let's take a look at a spot where we can build a portal up and just start with that. And that's what we did. We headed up north of the coast. We went all the way up north and found this little isle here. Just this little coast where we could just set up a hut and a bridge and cut it off from the rest of the land and use it the same way we did with Chateau of Steel. So we did it. We actually built the outpost. We built the portal. It stands. It is where we started the stream. We were just there with our little bridge, if you recall. We will be there in a second as well. Oh, I just took off the ping there. That's my bad. Let's put it again. So right here is outpost. And then I don't know what came back, but Storm just said it was a little bit late, he needed to go to bed. This was on Saturday, I believe. And I told him, look, I want to know how big this island is, because we just had this coast, right? We checked the swamp, we headed back north. We didn't have anything down here. And we hadn't anything over on this side. We just had like this, until here, all of this was fucked, okay? So we decided to actually, Storm decided to head to bed or get ready to get to bed, and I did talk, and I looked at Discord. I saw him just, okay, look, I'm gonna explore the island. I'm gonna see how long this island is, because this continent seems a little bit scuffed. There's the swamp, there's black forest, and there's a little bit meadows here, right? So let's see if there's at least another biome on this island. I started streaming on Discord for him to see my playthrough. I grabbed our carve and started heading south toward this coast. And I didn't see a way to keep going with the boat, because I didn't want to go by foot. I could die, it could be dangerous, so I just stuck to my carve. I spotted a dungeon, no way to head through, so I decided to head back. And I went. As long as I could, I went, guys. Let me tell you, this is fucking huge. So we start off here. I did this coast, I spotted a merchant, I believe, and a dungeon right on the side of the merchant. This is all black forest. This is all black forest here. I wanna say, at least that I could see from my car, this was all black forest. Right here, there's plains, which is another biome. Look at that. We did flying plains, and I told him, hey, Storm, this is a good fucking island. There's 4 biomes here. We should use this island. Hey, look, there's a dungeon. And take notice how many pinpoints I did. So you can see I did mark a dungeon here. I did mark another dungeon here, another dungeon here. I was quite scouting. I was doing my work as a recon, guys. You can imagine myself just going on my carve and just taking notes out of all of this. Just sometimes even eating my own carve against some rocks, because I was just taking notes out of everything that I saw, okay? So I kept going. And as long as I kept going, as long as I kept to my carve, I was safe, and that's what I thought. And I was. I passed another plains, and I told him, Storm, this fucking island never ends. I want to head to bed myself. I have other things to do. I have to get ready myself to go to sleep, to do some, some good head rest. And he said, well, just turn back. Go up north and just return. We wanted to grab our boat. Our intent was to grab our boat and have a boat back on the chateau. So that's why I came here and started off with a boat. But then the idea for me was to grab the boat and before heading home, recon the island. And I told him, no, I'm not heading back. I want to recon the rest of it. Like, that was my goal. I want to fulfill my goal. And he told me, dude, you're gonna go to the edge of the world. And I told him, no, man, trust me, this is gonna be end in an instant. And I kept going. And so I kept going. And I found another dungeon. I was like, Storm, there's another Black Forest region here. Hey, look, there's a dungeon. And from here, things got pretty fucking crazy. This is the point where I decided, look, I'm fucked. I don't know what to do. I might be a gunner already. I might need to do all my tools from the start. We lost our carve. I was worried, and I'll tell you why. Because as soon as I passed the dungeon, as soon as I reached this, I was like, hey, we're turning the island, so maybe there's a way to just smooth through. Let me tell you guys, there wasn't. What I found here was the mists. An area filled with fog, filled with enemies, ready to bite you. On the fucking sea, there's giant snakes and eels all ready to tear you apart and rip you to pieces. They'll follow you around throughout the ocean for ages. Your boat is vulnerable. Your boat can be destroyed. So I was fucking scared. I wasn't having a good time. I was quite nervous. My heart rate was pumping. I was sweating, and I was even more gibberish than I am right now. Okay, so yeah, heading south still. I was just kept seeing mists and mists and mists and mists and mists and mists. And the worst part is, as soon as I reached here, I hoped, okay, maybe it's here that I can head back. And no, it was more mists. It was more mists. Storm was laughing in my ear. It was just, for him, it was such a cool thing for him just to see me panic all throughout the journey, all throughout my quest of reconning this fucking continent. He had a blast, I'm sure of it. So I kept going, and we keep going. It started heading backwards, and I was like, no, please don't tell me this is like a U-shaped style of island, and I'll have to go all the way back, and this was all for nothing. And I really, really thought it was. I thought I just started this journey, I just started this useless quest on my own, out of sheer stupid determination. And it kind of was. For all this time throughout this, from here where we first saw the mists, I really thought I was over. I just went through. Hey, we'll keep going on, and if I die, I think I'll be a goner anyway. So let's go. I was being pursued. I couldn't head back. That's what I mean. I was being followed by those snakes and the eels that I talked about. So I needed to keep going, and I did, and I kept going. So right here, if my map doesn't bug, right here, I think we saw another region, another biome. The Mistlands we already talked about. I don't actually recall what's the name of the biome here. Or is it still the Mistlands? Maybe this is still the Mistlands. Yeah, this is still the Mistlands. The Mistlands was so long, guys. You look. Let me just show off how long the Mistlands were. It started off here. I got a little break here, and then it started again. I started panicking. This is all the way me panicking and don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Okay, do you see how long this takes? This is a huge time of sheer fright. Then here I saw some planes. I was a little bit more at ease. There was no one following me around. There were no snakes. There was just pure plain sights of playing fields. But on those fields, almost at the coast, there was an encampment. And the encampment had some goblins. Some were small, some were fucking huge. I think bigger than trolls. I couldn't check if they were bigger than trolls because I couldn't get close. So I don't know. I might be wrong on that. We're gonna figure that out soon enough. So they saw me. They started swimming around. I kept going on my boat, and we kept going. I saw that we were heading east again, so I thought this may be it. This may actually be the end. The end of the journey may actually be close. I saw Black Forest. I was like, yes, this is it. I'm gonna go around the island now. But I wasn't. So I kept going. I was misled by this continent at least 6 times, guys. At least 6 times that I counted. And I didn't count them all. And then there was the plains again. And again. And the plains just kept going. The plains just kept going. And then there was hope. Alas, another Black Forest. Heading purely towards east. But look. We're very close. Very close. Or maybe not. Maybe not. We are. Okay, guys. We're getting closer. That's what I mean. We're getting closer to the edge here. I was starting to get worried. I was getting really frightened. What is going on? Am I going to go to the edge, as Storm said? Is this the continent of the master continent of all continents? And then I reached another Mistlands area. This was quite a pain in the ass because there was some sort of fog here and I couldn't see shit. So I took it quite slowly because I didn't want to hit anything. When you get to the edge, just take a leap of faith. Yeah. Bond of Faith there. A Guild Wars 2 reference. But we kept going. There you are, Storm. It's great to have you on stream. We kept going. And we kept going. There was a little bit of Black Forest again and some plains. But this is the tricky part. This is really the tricky part. I don't even recall what this is named. This biome, the 6th biome of our continent here. Look, I was traumatized. This area almost has no land. It's almost all islands, and the islands are really high above. I wonder how we're gonna get around. I really hope we get some sort of flying mount. That's my expectations. May not be true. We don't know. But I kept going. I didn't want to get very inside of the islands because there were a lot of enemies around and a lot of fog. So I kept going just off of the side. And I kept going. And I kept going. And this is it. The final turn. This is where my hope returned. I thought, guys, there might be a way up. There might actually be still hope for me to get home safely. With my Scarf. That's when we turned north. And I always like heading north, guys. I've heard on the Lord of the Rings countless times the Ent Treebeard say, I always like heading south. It makes me feel like I'm going downhill. Something like that. Well, let me tell you something. I will always love heading north, and this is because of it. When I started heading north, my hope just returned. I felt like Vasco da Gama, the explorer, when he turned the Corp of Torments. I think that's how it's called, right? So I kept going, the Coast of Torments, yeah. So I kept going north, and there was a lot of hope and laughter at this point. Like the chat, I was panicking and just screaming, Storm, what do I do? Do I head up north? How do I get out of this? And once I started heading up north, we started having a laugh. We started enjoying the journey. I started saying, yeah, this has paid off. What a hell of a journey. This has been amazing. But 5 minutes sooner, and I was just panicking and having the struggle of a lifetime. So, yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? And then I just keep heading north. A lot of mists, a lot of enemies. I kind of got scared at a moment because there was a moment where I was looking at the map, just wondering, well, where the fuck am I? And I'll show it off the old zoom out map in a second. And I started going off, well, where the fuck am I? I was looking at the map and I hit a rock. And right near the rock there was an enemy, and the enemy just started running towards me, and it was really fucking close. He even got like an arm's reach within my character inside of the car, you know? So I was really like, if I get a hit, I'm dead. I panicked a little bit there, but I managed to head out and just go through it. There's a little bit more plains here. There's some snowy areas around as well. On this continent, I could see the snowy areas because of the mountains and the snow on top of them. I kept going. There was a lot of more plains, a lot of more mists, as you can see. And here there was no pressure at all. I was just sailing through, having the having the laughter of a lifetime because of the actual sheer fear that I felt. And I returned to the spot where we started once we headed towards this continent. So what's the look of the entire thing? This is it, guys. This is what it looks like. It's huge, and it covers almost half of the world in terms of length, right? And look at that. That is amazing, isn't it? That is truly amazing. As you can see, I've also explored a little bit further. I've explored the outer regions of this island, and I've tried to find another continent here, but I only found an island. But whilst I was turning around this island, I found that there are other islands here that might be continents. There's a Miados island there and a Black Forest there. And that's my cartography for you guys.